What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Jack Ramsays pregame show. We're back. We're live, sort of. Danny Marang, Brandon Sprague. It's something. We're probably going to sound a little bit weird. Yes, I'm still a little bit sick. Yes, I'm still isolating. Yes, it has been a tumultuous and violently shitty week. There's no other way to explain it but that. I was crippled in bed. I didn't really have any symptoms until my flight home, which not great, Bob.
No.
Tested negative when I first came home, and then I tested positive the next day. So, got it in Hawaii, so it is what it is. I'll be habitually muting my mic so that I can cough a little bit. This is the best that I've sounded in at least a week. So, which is kind of fitting because, Brandon, this game I think is going to be a little sick.
Yeah. Well, by the way, let me jump on here with my nasally ass voice. And also let me highlight the fact I don't believe I have the COVID, but I guess in this day and age, you just don't know. I did take a test and it did come back negative, but, and we've had a couple other people in our tiny family get together that we hung out with prior to Christmas, but there were a couple that got sick and we've had multiple negative tests. So I guess the good news is I don't think any of us have it over here, but it's a pretty nasty bug. And even if you were able to go a couple days ago, I wouldn't have been.
No. I thought, like, when I got home, I thought maybe it was like a day or two. I'm like, no, I'll be okay. Between my hip, which, by the way, shout out cortisone shots. I would not have been able to do Hawaii without that cortisone shot. I figured that out very quickly. 6 hours in the plane almost killed me on the way there.
Oof, that flight there versus the flight back.
Oh, you mean the hour and a half shorter flight home with the tailwinds? Yeah, no, it's wonderful. But I got massive body cramps and body aches right in my kidneys, right above my hip. So, Here's my non-political thing. Go get the vaccine. I'm taking it from somebody who just got their ass kicked. I have seen people who didn't have it in my family who were worse off than I was. So,
I'm not convinced that I don't have it. Like, I kind of want to take another test.
If you're vaxxed, it can take a little bit longer to show up positive. So that's something can be considered of.
Yeah, I'm double. I was gonna get the booster, and then
we couldn't do it before we left, because we would have been symptomatic going into Hawaii, and that's a no. Not getting into Hawaii that way. But a big thank you to everybody who was understanding, and thank you all for supporting us and checking on us and just, dealing with it. We really appreciate it.
I'm glad you're all right, though. I mean, that's,
it sucked.
You text me, when you got back, got COVID. I was like, okay. And you didn't really describe, how much you had it versus like asymptomatic or feeling it. And I think we were scheduled to do a pod.
Yeah.
And I think an hour and a half, the day of the pod, you didn't even text me. You just sent out a tweet, said, we will not be doing the podcast today. And I'm like, he didn't send me a text. He must be feeling really shitty.
Oh, dude, I was dead. I've been in the hospital with pneumonia. That's the sickest I've ever been in my life. And I was in the hospital for almost 2 weeks when I was 22.
Yeah.
And it damn near killed me. And this is the closest I've been to that. Like, it was, I not to spend like the whole time talking about this, but just like so people are like aware of it. I sweat through like 2 or 3 shirts a night, and not like, a little wet. I'm talking no blankets. Anything I put on was ruined. Coughing so hard, like I was starting to cough blood. Like, it was bad. It was bad, stuff. So, if you test positive, just get yourself somewhere, isolate. I went through 2 bottles of NyQuil, 2 bottles of DayQuil. I feel like half a bottle of Advil, and I still got my little throat spray so I can get through this. It's amazing how much better you can feel with a little bit of numbing on there. It's something serious for sure. But basketball-wise, hey, Brandon, did I miss anything while I was gone?
Yeah, you missed the entire NBA also had COVID, and the Blazers are signing guys named like Ron Barber and Cat Smith and people I've never heard
Auto-generated 2K draft class names.
Mean, Jesus Christ. It's like if my 5-year-old was able to generate a name for an NBA player. That's basically what we're dealing with right now. I got to be honest with you. I saw Dame's playing.
Yeah,
and
I got a heads up early that Dame was in the building. I think it's pretty easy to figure out why it was listed as personal reasons.
Okay. Okay. I think we can also figure that out as well.
You can go look at a particular Instagram post of his and 2+2.
Yeah, right. I don't even know who's suiting up in a Portland uniform tonight outside of like 4 guys. I don't know who's suiting up in Dallas's uniform.
We know the starting lineup and we know the 6th man. That is as much as we know.
That's as much as we really need to know, to be honest. They're probably going to run those 6 guys almost damn near 40 minutes.
You're probably going to see some Greg Brown sprinkled in there, which, thank God.
Yeah, he's been out for a while.
My whole thing right now is the NBA is not going to stop. And everybody who wants to, it's the Grady owners. No, it's everybody. It's a machine, and everybody wants to continue getting their money, the players and the owners alike. And from what we've seen so far, players that are vaxxed, particularly that have boosters, are able to get back quicker.
Mm-hmm.
That's just kind of what the data has shown. And their symptoms are less, and the virologists are saying that it's you're less likely to spread. I think that's why they shortened the COVID down times. We saw the CDC today release from 10-day quarantine to 5-day quarantine.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what it is. So
let me ask you this though. I was curious because I've been seeing this, it's every day. It's Shams and Woj having a COVID protocol battle.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
And like I also saw it today, like I just shook my head mainly out of like, I'm not surprised, but like the Suns and the Warriors, they had the COVID stuff and you're like, oh, the day after the Christmas game, they just happened to have it. And I'm kind of just wondering like if people,
I mean, the Nets rushed guys back and they canceled the game against Portland.
Oh, I know.
I mean, like, let's be real. It is what it is. The NBA was trying to get as much as they could on Christmas Day.
Well, I'm just wondering if fans, like, just from the viewing perspective, like, I'm all about no-name players and players that are from the G League. Like, I like that they get opportunities. At the same time, do fans like watching this? We want to watch this product? Like, that's, I don't know where you go with it, but I'm just curious how people feel about this.
So I've seen some people today that cover the league who are very mad that people are not excited about seeing G League guys. And I've seen some, how dare you? This is these guys' dreams, And it's like, that's cool. It is not our responsibility as, consumers of the product to want that. You want the best players on the floor.
Yeah.
That's why you go watch NBA games. If you wanted to go watch guys who are good at basketball, you can go watch college basketball. You can go watch high-level high school basketball. Hell, you can go watch the Big Three. Those dudes will give everybody buckets and make it look easy.
Mm-hmm.
You pay money to watch the best of the best. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And listen, I'm all about these guys getting opportunity. I'm excited for those guys. But am I tuning in to watch? Hold on, I gotta check the press release to make sure I get the rosters correct here. Let's see, because they officially signed 3. The 4th, maybe the press release is. Nope, they haven't announced the other one. So it's just 3 guys. That's Jaron Cumberland, Cameron McGriff, and Brandon Williams.
I haven't heard of any one of those 3 players. That's what's crazy. So I watch some college like a little bit, and I'm always like, oh yeah, I remember that dude. And then these names come up, like somebody signed a guy named Cat Barber, and I'm like, I've never heard of any of these players ever.
You made that name up. That's kind of what it goes. McGriff, I believe, played at Oklahoma State with Cade.
Smart. Oh, okay. Cade.
No, he's a 4-year guy, 2016 to 2020. So, but again, he's a 4-year Oklahoma State guy who I think he averaged like 12 and 7. The one that Shams announced earlier is actually probably the guy that's got the most kind of accolades around him. The kid from Toronto, Reggie Perry. He's a 10-day, but that was announced by Shams, but it hasn't been confirmed by the team yet. Only 3 players have been officially announced. So maybe he hasn't cleared protocol or they haven't confirmed something. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I look at this team right now and they don't, with Nurk out, with Zeller out. For those that don't know, here's the list of out. Dame is now playing tonight. Dame is starting. Dame, Norm, Nas,
Ant.
No, Ant is not starting. Ant's coming off the bench. Dame, Norm, Nas, Snell, and Nance.
Okay.
That's your starting lineup. Ant off the bench. Greg Brown Jr. Greg Brown III is out. So everybody else is out. No Watford, no Blevins. Both centers are out, Nurk and Zeller. CJ still recovering from the lung. Who am I forgetting?
DSJ?
DSJ is out. And then for the Mavericks, by God almighty. So the Blazers have some guys out for just health and protocols. The Mavericks do. So here's who's out for the Mavericks tonight. And it is a list, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a huge list.
Reggie Bullock, Trey Burke, Willie Cauley-Stein, Luka Doncic, Tim Hardaway Jr., Maxi Kleber, and JaQuori McLaughlin.
Oof. Hey, go Beavs.
There you go.
JaQuori McLaughlin was one time like a Beaver guy, and then he ended up going somewhere else.
I'm sorry, Willie Cauley-Stein is personal reasons. So they are missing one that's not health and safety. Usually it's all grouped together in the press releases. But yeah, and Cov. Cov is the other one. Cov is also out for health and safety. So it got pretty much everybody, and somebody just in the bottom, Ellaby. Ellaby is also available.
Gotcha.
So it is a lot. And the Blazers went a long time without having one, and then it got in the team and kind of blew everything up. So that's where we're sitting right now. But
I'm not one that likes it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, like
the fill-in.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not against the dudes playing. I don't want people to misconstrue that.
Would you rather shut it down?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, this almost goes against exactly what I'm saying because, like, I'm cool with guys getting opportunities, but if the commissioner, if Adam Silver were to hop on the pod right now and say, "What would you guys do?" I would say, "I'm not really watching your league right now." Like when in Christmas Day, I'm as big a Christmas basketball fan as anybody out there. Swear to God,
I watched maybe 4 minutes.
I mean, I watched the Giannis game, and that was like even LeBron against the Nets. I'm like, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't. And you know, if that's what it is, like I watched football most of the time when I was even conscious, by the way, because Christmas Day, dear God, I slept for 10 hours. But if it was what would you think? I'd say if you took 2 weeks off, I don't think people would really care. And if you told me those games weren't coming back, I don't think people would care. I
can tell you two groups of people who would care a lot. Players and the owners would care a lot. If
I get that.
If you took 10 games away,
I know.
Oof. But I get what you're saying.
That you're coming off the bubble stuff not too long ago. Like I understand all that. Yeah. I'm just saying from a entertainment standpoint, I don't even know what the breakdown's going to be from tonight's game outside. Like,
I want to know how many people are going to be in the building, not just in Portland but league wide.
It looks pretty sparse, I think, in a lot of different arenas right now, and like tonight in Portland especially, this might be the lowest.
Oh, listen, if there's more than 4,000 people in that building tonight,
I'll be stunned.
I will be stunned.
You could give me courtside.
The roads around here, I don't know about your side of town. On Newburgh, it is a sheet of ice.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been out since this morning. I went out real quick with a double mask on. I had to grab some medicine, but I know that sounds bad, but I don't know.
No, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But it's at least here a disaster. Let's be honest. Portland is maybe the worst city in the country when it comes to one-time snows per year.
Most definitely.
It is what it is. Let's kind of get back in the swing of things. First of all, thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for letting us kind of take a little hiatus. I had a fantastic time on my trip to Hawaii before I got sick.
I'm glad you took the time off, though, to be honest. I know the COVID stuff really kind of put
it sucks and blows at the same time. But
yeah.
But I did watch a little bit of basketball. I grabbed the laptop quite literally in a lagoon. There was one, the late game I think was on at like 5 o'clock my time in Hawaii. And I was like 3 pina coladas deep with toesies curled up in the ocean water at 88 degrees. And I was like, I'm not watching this shit ananymore. And I turned it off. It was the first Memphis game. And I was like, nope.
Oh, that one was.
Yeah, that fourth quarter was a disaster. So, but then thank you all. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you all so very much. Like, rate, review, subscribe. Help us grow the channel. Help us get back on track. Get back in the swing of things. We will have some podcasts out here shortly. I will have some more content out shortly. I have literally done nothing for the past week but sleep. This is the most I have talked in a week. So as you can tell, my voice is already kind of fading because I haven't really been able to use it much. But I do want to get into a couple familiar things. Brandon, like it, love it, leave it. First, the Mavericks.
Are we really playing the game when we have guys playing that I don't even know?
Absolutely. Roll it all into one.
Okay.
Love it, like it, leave it. Roll it all into one.
Okay, I like it. Like it, love it, leave it. I like, love, and I leave the fact that Portland has Dame playing and Dallas doesn't have Luka playing. I love that. And Dallas can leave Luka off for the game tonight. Get him back after this one if you can. And I love Portland has a good opportunity. I don't know what to make. Again, this season's so weird now that some of these wins and losses, it's like, is there context to these? Are we just, hey, they've got a 4-game winning streak. Yeah, but half the roster of the team they played didn't play. It's like, I don't know how to gauge some of that stuff, but for a team that is in dire straits, a team that's coming off a very bad performance against New Orleans, and they've been off now for over, a week?
Damn near.
It's a good you don't get that kind of time off during the regular season. This is a good opportunity tonight.
And they only have to make up one game.
Right. To make up that one game. And you're still not very good, but make up that one game at least.
I'm wondering how much I've talked to some agents around the league, and particularly, guys who may be involved in deals coming up on multiple teams. And, the one thing that I kept getting the agent speak and getting reassured with was, hey, good players have their names in trade discussions a lot. And that I wonder how that's affecting the guys like Ant, like Nas. Nance, I think, is a pro. Zeller's a pro. Covington's a pro. Nurk, we'll see. I don't know how well he will, take that chip on his shoulder or not.
Right.
But we've cleared, obviously I was gone during December 15th when we cleared the official everybody's available to be traded day. Still nothing been done now, 12 days later. Mm-hmm. I would expect that over the next 2 weeks, things pick up quite a bit. I would imagine that what you'll see is a couple teams here are going to lose a few more games, and it's going to be like, I don't know. I think we're going to have to kind of maybe shift how we do things. And that's going to change how it goes. And so my love it, like it, leave it is all kind of rolled up into one tonight. I love that the young guys are going to get more of an opportunity tonight to showcase who they are, what they can be, whether it's for this team or for another team. My leave it is when you look at this, I hope we don't have to do this again next year.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. Like, if you look at all the, not to get into the science stuff behind all this stuff, but typically this stuff runs 2 years. And
yep.
we're coming up on that mark. And so hopefully we get through this shit show of 2 years come March, April, and this is the last time we kind of have to deal with it. You said you didn't really know what to expect tonight, so I did a little reconnaissance early on. I don't know if the line has moved, but our jacked up line tonight, the Blazers are favored, Brandon Sprague, by 1.5.
I'll take the Blazers minus the 1.5 because Dame's playing.
I saw that line, and I took the line when somebody texted me and said Dame just pulled up.
Doesn't it kind of smell like Vegas doesn't know what the hell is going to happen?
They're guessing. Games? I have had 3 different people who cover the NBA who are degenerate gamblers.
Yeah.
Who were like, dude, do you have any feel for what? I'm like, no, none. And neither does Vegas.
Well, you can't, their simulated models don't work because all of these rosters are different.
The volatility just went boop. And so they're just kind of like, they're just letting it go, man. That's Vegas is either going to they're going to just take some wins or they're going to take some massive L's tonight.
I'm surprised they're not trying to fuck us harder by just saying pick them.
No, pick 'em. I mean 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, it's right there.
You know what? Let's pull up the local app and let's see how many of these games are tight.
I'd imagine there's quite a bit of them, right?
So, wow, Memphis Phoenix is 7.5.
Okay.
Charlotte Houston is 21.5. Oh, that's a live bet. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that game's already underway.
Oh, Portland Dallas is moved to 3.
Oh, so is it Portland minus the 3?
Yep.
I'll still take Portland with that.
I got it in at 1.5. Shit. They found out Damian Lillard's playing.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Went up 1.5.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, he's at least that good.
Milwaukee Orlando is plus 12.5, but they're missing 13 players.
Jeez.
Washington Miami is 6. Philly Toronto's 5.5, which is actually insane because Toronto's missing 11, I think.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, Cleveland New Orleans, did that get canceled? Because there's no lines for it. Huh.
I haven't seen any.
Yeah, I got 0 lines for it. And OKC Sacramento 6. So everything's pretty close for the most part, other than the Orlando one, because that's a disaster.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about that Cleveland New Orleans game.
I wonder if they pulled something off because somebody's out or somebody's questionable. Yeah. But I took the Blazers and at a different site. I may or may not have taken the over.
The over. That's an interesting. What's the over number?
It was 212. I got it to 211.5 on another site earlier.
Okay.
It is now at 215.
Oh man, I kind of want to bet the under just because Portland's been off for so long that I wonder if that rust factor hits them for a 1.25.
Yeah, and who's going to score for Dallas?
And that's kind of my secondary thing.
Like Jalen Brunson's going to go for like 45.
Well, I mean, he's going to try. That doesn't mean
it wouldn't be the last little Dallas guard to absolutely cook this franchise. Let's be real. Yogi Ferrell got a whole ass contract off of it.
Hashtag never forget.
I was in the building for that game and I just laughed.
I watched it tape delayed.
Oh God, just why would you watch that? That's just pure hell. He went nuts. But yeah, it's kind of a weird game. I'm an idiot and I made a what to watch for tonight graphic, and I have no idea. Like Nas.
I think you go with the young guys here because it's going to be really their opportunity to play 35 minutes.
Realistically, if Dame plays more than 31 minutes, I'm going to find Scott Brooks in a dark alley.
Can I throw something at you?
He should not be playing at all.
Well, you can make that point. Here's a random what to watch for. What to watch for? Is there any different feel with Scott coaching versus Chauncey not being there? What
are you looking for in that vein?
Maybe some offensive stuff. I mean, I'm not really looking at Scott for the defensive stuff, but
I'm not really looking much at it from the offensive either. But
I mean, I know, I'm with you. I'm wondering.
You know where I was with that hire? I was like, found somebody cheap, did you?
I'm just cheap and somebody needs to turn their reputation around. I'm wondering if it's going to be different at all, and whether that's the little things or not, or maybe not at all. But I'm just kind of curious if there's something to watch for. See if there's a difference with Scott versus Chauncey.
It's going to be a weird one. Here's what I'll say. Remember last year when they had everybody out and Ellaby had the 15-point game and they upset the 76ers? That was a drunkenly stupid fun game.
Yeah.
This has the makings of being a drunkenly stupid fun game.
I would hope so. They at least owe us that. I watched that Pelican game and I can't get that time back.
Oh, God, right?
I mean,
that's
dear Lord.
And Evan James in the chat says Greg Brown III is playing, right? Listen, man. This is not an anti-Trendon Watford thing, but I've been wondering why Watford has been getting so many more minutes in those spot opportunities than Greg. I thought in the fleeting moments that he gets on the floor, for the most part, he looks like he's doing what he's supposed to do. Now I don't know what's going on in practice or.
I think that's the thing is what's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about.
Maybe Greg's not showing as much maturity defensively as Watford, because Watford for the most part is in the right place at the right time, and he's a thick boy. He's not thick with like 5 C's, but it's like 3 C's, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's got a little bit to him where Greg just doesn't have that yet. So if you're gonna I think Greg's better as a 4. Unless you've got some size otherwise on the lineup. But yeah, I think it's kind of what we're looking for is stupidly drunk fun game. I just hope it's not a slog. Please don't give me a slog. We've had too many slog games this year. Just get loose with it. Get dumb. I'm not watching for X's and O's tonight because you're going to have a lot of guys who aren't going to be here in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're 10-day guys or they're actually rostered. Between now and February 10th, I think is the trade deadline. I have to look. I'm kind of brain fogged right now. It's going to be just kind of chaos, and I hope for like structured chaos that turns into fun. This team.
Telling me we're going to get some rat ball tonight?
Listen, I kind of want some rat ball. This team has not been fun this year.
No,
like it just hasn't been fun. Shout out Mike Richmond. He's kind of carried the Blazers podcast torch for the last 2 weeks while we've been out, and the things that he's hit on are the same things that we've kind of hit on over the last couple of months, which has been the young guys are fun, everything else sucks.
Yep.
And that's kind of where I'm still at. I was hoping they would make a trade while I was gone or while I was sick or something, just so that would be some little kick in the ass. But
I'm wondering how much for Joe. By the way, good news was that CJ was starting to feel good. He was starting to get his conditioning back.
Yeah.
But I was wondering too, when that move, that stuff didn't happen right away, how much of that had to do with CJ?
I don't think it did because if you're going to move him, you can get the medicals.
Okay. That's a fair point.
So, and with as scary as that injury sounds,
I just wondered if it was more Joe saying, CJ, we'll
you
wait
take your time.
Take your time.
Listen, in that regard, I think you're right.
Here. Yeah.
Because let's also remember CJ's got that, which can't be fun.
No.
The mentals of just life in general, COVID and crap, the holidays. Yeah. Oh, and his incredibly pregnant wife.
Right.
Like, CJ's in a bit of a bind right now. I'm not saying that badly as a bad thing. I'm just saying he's got a lot going on right now.
Well, in the organization, I mean, however we right. Yeah, right. They stand by him. That's a dude that's been loyal to them, and they've been loyal to him. Yeah. So I understand that part of it.
No, and I think in that vein, I think you're probably right. And it's going to be interesting to see what the first domino is. And not just necessarily with the Portland Trailblazers, but with the NBA. Because somebody's going to make a move here. The Sixers need to make a move. The Celtics need to make a move. The Blazers need to make a move. The Lakers, by God, they need to make a move. Like, there are massive, massive franchises. I want to get your thoughts on this real quick before we get out of here.
Yeah.
There was a Bleacher Report teaser trade that was basically CJ and I can't remember what else it was. I think it was CJ Nas in the second or something like that. And it had Langford, one of the Josh Richardson, Time Lord, and draft compensation coming back. And I was like, I like Time Lord.
I'm okay with him.
He's on Nurk's contract, $448. Knows his role, does it very well. Gives you some versatility in how you play. The one thing that I noticed on every guy that was coming back to Portland, it was guys that are Chauncey guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so do you think that's more in line with what you would expect on that kind of return?
I mean, I think the tough thing for me is a couple years ago versus where we're at now. I think we had
the expectations.
Yeah, of what you're returning, and if it's Time Lord Langford, and would you say like some draft filler?
It was Josh Richardson's and
Richardson.
Yeah, and which
Josh can be. Josh.
He's up and down, man.
Yeah, like he's gonna have games where you're really like, dude, are you even playing? And then he's gonna have other games where you're like, dude, this guy needs to get more minutes. Yeah. Like, that's who he's kind of been his whole career. Langford's hit and miss for me. Time Lord's okay. I don't know. That probably is about where I'd say the value is. That's the tough thing. That's
your mark of like getting a bunch of good role players back.
But that's not a move.
But that's firing your big contract chip. And now what do you do?
That's what I'm wondering. Can you get something bigger?
Or do you take those pieces and make it a big deal? And, if Indiana wants to reset, you send the young guys to Indiana, bring a a Sabonis or bring a Turner or bring a Sabonis and a TJ Warren to Portland and send more out along with those guys. I think that's kind of what this is going to end up looking like.
I mean, that's definitely the direction you're going. I don't think the moves that they ultimately end up making are going to be moves that we say, well, boom, they're title contenders. I think they're pieces that can make you better this year. And then I think they're also things that you can add, subtract when you go into the offseason. I think that's the way we got to look at it is, oh, you're not making the move that's making you a title contender now, or at least a contender within the Western Conference to a certain extent now. It's how can you get better, maybe build on that, and then address other areas and find other ways to get creative come the offseason. I think that's kind of the way we're looking at it now.
Yeah, and then we're not talking about saving this season anymore. If anything, I would find a way to tank this season and save that draft pick, and then you have a little bit more capital.
Yeah.
But it's going to be interesting to kind of see how this all plays out. I will say this. I've heard from more than a few people that with Neil out, Paul Allen not in the picture anymore, obviously, and Joe's very good relationships with Chad Buchanan and Kevin Pritchard, the idea of a trade between Portland and Indiana is not out of the question anymore.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So whether that's Turner or Sabas, like we'll have to wait and see on that. But
I would lean to, as much as I'm a Turner guy for fit, I would lean towards Sabonis. For the major non-basketball reason of tickets. He would absolutely sell tickets here, unequivocally.
Well,
Gonzaga,
without a doubt. Yeah.
Let's be real. Gonzaga white guy with Sabonis' name.
Yeah, rocking the dad's number.
I mean, it would sell tickets.
It would absolutely sell tickets. I know this is where we've always slightly differed. I think there's an element of untapped potential with him just in the realm of not playing alongside Miles anymore. You kind of free him up. His role's slightly different. I don't know what's that top end. What does that mean? I don't know. But I think there's an element of his game that maybe could be unlocked, getting to play with Dame.
You're getting a better talent at the top end. There's no doubt about that. I look at him and I go, with Dame?
I mean, you might be right.
It's not really the floor stretcher, and he's not the great role guy. He needs the ball a little bit more, and he's not a great defender. He's a little heavy-footed. But the things that he does well, he does them incredibly well. So
and how much, they've had all this stuff going on in Indiana, basically, where they're called out and there's no stars, and they're so disgruntled over there that
the entire thing needs to be blown up.
It's a fresh restart.
Yeah.
And then don't overlook the fact that I wouldn't put it past him to be super excited about getting that opportunity to play where he was born and play for the team his dad played for.
He would be beloved here. There's no doubt about it. He would be beloved, and I think he would embrace
it. I think he would really enjoy it and get excited about it.
And he's still young. And he's on a great contract. He's at $18 million a year. So, again, I'm not against, like, if you said it's Sabonis or nothing, I'd be like, okay, Sabonis.
Oh, for sure.
Like, there's not a doubt in my mind. I think there's better fits. How likely they are is, I think, up for debate. But we'll kind of wrap it up there. We'll come back for the post-game show. I don't know how long we'll go in the post-game show, but we will have a post-game show. We will be back on track. Maybe not next game, but the game after that, as long as my throat doesn't deteriorate. We will be back on top as far as doing the live watch parties. I will be working with the guys from Playback, and I will have a whole schedule laid out for you guys. So if you're already a subscribed member to Jack Ramsays, I'll post those again when we start doing them, and I will just rattle off probably like 10, 12 straight to make up for missing 2 weeks. So you guys are getting your money's worth. I really appreciate you guys. Remember, like, rate, review, subscribe. Find us wherever you get podcasts. If you haven't already, please click subscribe. If you're this deep into the show, we appreciate you. We love you, and we know you're a diehard. Great to have you all back. Great to be back. You can find us on social media at Jack Ramsays, at Danny Marang, at Brandon Sprague. For Brandon, I'm Danny. We'll catch you guys in the post-game show. Take care. Talk soon.